Sometimes we see agencies isolate the analysts, not purposefully. They just don't know they should include them in a lot of the conversations. So recently I was working with a very small agency with a city of less than 20,000. And I said, is your analyst in all of your different strategic planning meetings? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, how are you supposed to be data driven in your strategy if your analyst is not in your meetings? And they kind of looked at me and I was like, and in a good way, they looked at me like, oh, like a kind of an aha moment of like, oh man, like maybe we should include the analysts in some of these sessions because they are seeing what some of the line staff may not be, because they're going call to call to call, and the sergeants are going obviously like approve, deny, whatever. So what happens is the analysts, I like to say, fly at the 5,000 foot level. They're able to see patterns that line staff won't see, sometimes detectives won't see, because detectives are also going on a case-by-case basis, and analysts are able to fly just above that and say, hey, detective, did you know you're working on the same case? Who's the baby mama of detective so-and-so's case? And he's like, no, I didn't know that. And then you get them together. So it's sometimes it's really important that I find, sometimes it's really important to just mention to leadership and say, hey, don't just because they're an analyst and just because they're a civilian doesn't mean you should exclude them from your command staff meetings, because they probably have a lot more insight as to what's happening and the patterns in your city than they realize. So we always like to promote that idea of bringing the data person to the meetings. So